Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are and whenever you watch this replay. Today is day 50 in the 100-day journey. And if you have been watching the lives every morning, thank you so much. If you've been watching them on replay, thank you so much for watching those on replay. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. But really, what's most important to me is hearing from you. So please drop a comment below, even if it's to say hi. Hey, I watched a replay. I- Add whatever you want to in there, as far as like if you have questions on jelly printing, or um, if you are connecting with this live. Really would like to hear from you. And today's also another big day. It just turned out to be the same. I mean, there was no planning involved, really. Um, so you have live with me today. And if you're a founding member on the community, we have our monthly call, and I'm so excited to get to see everybody and get to talk to everyone. If you're not a member, the doors are semi-open, meaning it's not free. There's definitely a monthly subscription fee to be a member of the community. So, and then also tonight is Craft Showdown. So I'm really excited to see Kara and Denise, and I know Mr. McSparkleton is going to have store plans in store for us that may not go as well as we'd hope. So, anyway, we'll never know what's going to happen with him. He is a rascally little guy, and he likes to throw in the monkey wrenches. So, make sure you check out Craft Showdown over there on the Craft Showdown channel. So, with that, today we are going to work with pan pastels. And I don't know if you've ever seen pan pastels or played with them, but we'll talk about them, and then on our gel plate. And I'm using my 5x7 gel plate. So with that, let's go ahead and get started and dive on in with our jelly printing. Okay, so these are the pan pastels, and I just bought them off of Amazon years ago. It'll say pan pastel on them. They come in these in this little tray, or you can get them individual and fill the little tray. So some of these do not have lids on them, but these, like, I really like this color, and so I could buy that separately, and we'll take the lid off of this one. Um, this one here, I don't believe I bought it separately. It's what they call a colorist blender. I've never used it, but so that's why I think it comes as part of the tray. And then if you buy individual colors, obviously you can put the lid on this one, like one of these, and then pick them out, take the lid off, put it on, take it out, kind of thing. Sorry. So there were only a few colors, like black and white did come in this. I think it was really these colors that you see here. And then I guess I bought these two separately, or this one came by itself. Don't remember. It's been so many years. Okay. I'm working on my 5x7 gel plate, and they do have, these are like makeup sponges almost, but they do have a little applicator that you can buy. And for some odd reason, I had one of these and it was on here, and then it dried up. So I just happen to have another one, but I find that this is really easy to apply the pan pastels on to the gel plate with. And those are those. I did buy some makeup sponges that are there. I've had them for a long time as well. So now, what I thought I would do is use some Tim Holtz stencils and some other stencils on the gel plate. And one of my favorite ones is this stencil. It's well loved and well used. Um, heart one. And so basically all I do is just put this on here like this. And then you can just dive on in with your pan pastels and you just add them, add it to, you just basically paint in what you want. And so this is definitely what I would call like a resist technique. Because what's going to happen is that the paint will be repelled against the hearts, and so and then and so therefore it will pick up the pastels, but it almost acts like a mask or a resist is the word I'm looking for. Sorry. And this is a different blue here, and it is really the pan pastels. I like them because they're not as chalky. I mean, they are definitely chalky, don't get me wrong, but they're not as chalky, and I would say they're kind of, I don't wanna say it's like butter, but it's got a creamy texture to it. It's not it's not, it's definitely a solid, and it's definitely chalk, but, um I'm just wiping that off a little bit. Now, I do not like mixing kinda like my paints, I don't like mixing my colors, so I will go and get another one. So let's see here. I do like the applicators. Now, when you use these other the blue applicator I was just using, um, when you do use another applicator that's not as smooth as the ones that I was showing, it can be a little chalky, like you're seeing like some flecks of chalk. And then let's add some red to here. I mean, come on, we gotta have red for hearts, right? And this would be a fun little project for like if you're going to create a card or something. And I know we have a lot of blue. Let's go with white. That may not, um, I'll just warn you right now, that may not show very well when we'll try it. Um, Depends on what color we put on the background. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I want to go with a little bit more of that. Hmm. Trying to figure out what other color I want. I don't want the blue, so maybe more of that red. Let's go with a darker. Let's see what happens if we do a darker red. Who knows if that's going to make it look like if that is really a darker red or a different red. We'll find out. So I'm just filling in the extra spots. All right. So now that we have, oh, I missed one little heart. Um, you know what? Let's just put a little black heart in there. Make it unique. Okay. Color palette choice is limited. So then you just pick it up gently. Okay. Um, you can wipe that off. The stencil. You can rinse it off or wipe it off. Now I got a little bit here, so I'm gonna see if I can't. It's got the white on it. I'm gonna see if I can't pick that up a little bit. Probably not. That's okay. So anyway, I was saying that this was like it could be a little quick card that you could do. Now, what I thought I would do is use a lighter color for the background. Now this is definitely a I can't talk this morning. The words are hard. Opaque. This is opaque and the pink is transparent, but I thought I'd go with the purple to see how this would look now. Where are my pliers? So let's go ahead and there's not really any dry time because the pan pastels are already dry. A little bit too much paint because I'm used to working with a bigger plate. So I'm gonna have to roll off some paint, and I'm just rolling it off on another piece of paper. I had way too much paint on there. If you ever find you have too much paint, you can always roll it off. And as you can see, you can start to see that sorry. You can start to see the design underneath. You know you have just the amount of right. Oh, sure. Just the right amount of paint there. Okay. So, all right. Let's go with one of these. Now, I'm just using paint to pull off the print, but you could always use like gel matte medium as well. But I always like color on my backgrounds. Now, it will you can get a ghost print easily. So, right here would be a cute little card. That is a darker red after all, like the darker blue. So, not too bad. But you could easily trim this down and make a card out of it. Or you can die cut it. We'll see. But it does leave some pan pastels. And this is where you could get a second, like what I would call a ghost print. You can get a second print from this. So let's try. I'm just curious. I'm going to try this pink here and see what we get. I'm going to add a little white to it. Not to make it like pink, but just the opacity. Since this is transparent, it's going to be hard. Oh, that's yellow, Sherry. Woo. That was almost disaster averted. It would have been okay. Pink and yellow do mix, but that's not what I was going for. I just want a little bit of white in there. That might be too much paint, but because I'm used to working on a bigger plate. But we'll see what happens here. No, I think it did pretty decent. Okay. Let's see what kind of ghost print we get here. It's it's definitely a lighter one. Now you could almost get a third ghost print. So here's lighter, right? So here is, oh, come on. Here's the first generation. Here's the second. And as you can see, we could probably get a third generation on here. But what we're going to do instead is, where are my stencils? I thought it would be fun to maybe add a little like this Tim Holtz one. This one's well loved. It's got paste on it and everything. I thought it'd be fun to add this on here, and let's just this happens to be one of my favorite colors, so we're just going to add that on here for a little abstract effect. It's not a lot. You don't really need a lot. And then my other color that I like this color, this green chartreuse. I know it's an ugly puke green, but I just like it. And if you're going to do this, I love these applicators. I just need to buy more. So I would say those are the applicators to use. And I'm just pouncing that on there. You can also rub it too. It's not a big deal. I'm just trying to get in these little holes. So I tend to pounce when I'm trying to get into little holes. I think we're there. I don't know if any of that will show up down there. I'm not too worried about. So now we got all these splots on with our background of our heart. And if we wanted to go back and make one of the hearts, let's see here. I don't think I can get it right in line with the rest of the hearts. Oh, is that the, nope, I think it was this way. I'm just trying to see if I can line this back up. Yep, I think that might be it right there. Okay. So if we wanted to go back with another stencil using the ghost image as my guide, and then adding, some hearts to this, definitely, just to make it stand out a little bit, definitely can do that. Now, remember, what I've always said is whatever's on the plate first is what's going to show up. So we layered over here, we layered some PanPastels using the splotches, whatever the stencil is, on the plate, and then we put a heart on top of it. So it'll be interesting to see what shows up. Let's try this green one too. I bet that's gonna, if my theory is correct, we should see a splotch on top of the red heart. But don't know. We'll find out. All right, so I just added a few hearts there. And with this one, I think I'm going to go white. We're going to go a little white. A little bit too much white because that's a big old bottle of white. Okay. Now let's pull this up and see what we get. See if my theory proves correct. Now, if you do not want the residue of the pan pastel onto the plate, you could definitely wash it with some mild soap and some water. You could also clean it off with with some oil, like mineral oil on your gel plate to clean up your plate. And it also conditions it at the same time. Um, Me, I'm just going to leave it on there because the reason why I leave things on my plate is so that way they will show up in other prints, and then I see it as a nice surprise. So, all right, moment of truth here. Let's see if that did. That's awesome. Okay, so as I thought, whatever you put on your plate first is what's going to show up. So we put this little blue with the stencil first, and then we put the heart behind it. Same with the green. And look at these little spots down here. Okay, so layering. This is definitely a layering technique and effect. We also have some hearts in the background. They're becoming less prominent as you jelly print. So this would be a really cute card as well that you could use. And so then you'll have another print. And I just really like this technique. I don't use it often enough. Um, but it is definitely a lot of fun. Oh, hey Tina, how are you? Yes, pan pastels and paint. Love this technique, this resist technique. So, let's go in here. We got a little bit more time. Let's go in here and add some circles. So we also have the splotch, the leftover splotches from Tim Holtz. Let's see, do I have a big Tim Holtz stencil? I think I do. This is not a Tim Holtz stencil, but that will work. And I think what we'll do is go with since we have a lot of darker colors, even though they're lighter because of um, we've pulled that print a couple times, there are images left over. Residue, that's the word I'm looking for, residue. So we'll go ahead and, I do not want to put that in there. We'll go ahead and make some of these circles on the blue and see what kind of effect we're going to get. You know what? We'll just make these all blue. It might be too dark and overpowering. I'm just going to say. I am curious, though, what would happen if we went back on top of our blue circles that we're making here and we added some white to them. Will it lighten up? Will they mix? Let's see. I don't think they're mixing too much, but let's see if they lighten up. I'm going to make sure I get one that has like a heart on it, like that one, to see what happens. Now, it definitely mixed on my sponge. It definitely mixed on there, but I don't know if it mixed on the pan pastel or on the plate. And let's go with yellow. You do not have to wait for this to dry. There's no drying. So let's go with this yellow. And was that too much yellow? Maybe. Did you have Tina, did you have like a busy school week? Did you have like a lot of testing or anything? Or was that last week? So we're going to pull this on here. And let's see, not too busy. Good, good. Are you able to join us today at the community call? I'm hoping it'll be a lot of fun. Oh, nice. Love it. Took the day off for your birthday. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, remember, the yellow is a little bit on the transparent side. So hopefully this will be a light yellow background. Okay. So a couple of theories we were playing with here. One, because the hearts in the background are a third generation, as well as the splotches that would have been a second generation, the new PanPastels, and the fact that the opacity of the PanPastels are a little darker than what's in the background. They tend to the dots definitely tend to overpower the print here. However, what was interesting is that we still had a second generation hearts still show up a little bit, but not as prominent. The mixing of so a couple things. One, the yellow and blue obviously make green. So we have, and the yellow is transparent. However, the PanPastels, that color is also transparent. And so the blue and the yellow obviously make green. So here we are. We got some green dots. And then when I added white to the blue, it definitely took that color to more of a lighter blue. But with the yellow, you definitely have some green hues on those lighter blue dots. So definitely like this is like a whole thing that comes through here. I would have to use a viewfinder to see if, do I like that piece or not? Where would I cut that? Exactly. Doing a long walk with your old people group today. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you can join us. But if you're going on a long walk, that's always fun too. That will be a lot of fun, I'm sure. So, other things with PanPastels, you don't have to just use stencils. I mean, you can go in here and you can just create whatever you want to, like here I'm just creating a line. You do not have to do anything fancy with these. Just play. See what that looks like when you're playing. I'm just adding some lines in here. May go back in with some white. And just cover up this whole plate and see what happens. You could even do an ombre effect on top of here. Where is my other? Oh, there they are. Let's get that crazy green out. Let's see what happens there. And I am just going right over the dots and the hearts. So I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just playing and talking. That's a little. Okay, let's get that color in there. There we go. Now, I've never tried this. I'm fixing to take my brayer over it and see if I can kind of like smooth out some of these lines. I don't know if it'll work. We're just playing. No, there's no blending. maybe a little bit, but not much. So, and let's use I would use white, but then I already have white there. Let's just use plain old hot pink. I bet that will be interesting. We'll see what we get. I call it hot pink, but it's not really called hot pink. Man, is it bright. It is called Aqua Rose, and it is definitely dramatic. I'm just using this as a way to pull up the print. I knew that that was transparent, but I was using it to give the paint something to resist. Now, this is a whole resist technique, so it'll be interesting to see what we get, because I just put pan pastel on the whole thing. Okay, interesting. That's what we got. Now, I knew that the chartreuse and the pink, and I love this color, would mix. And so that's what happened there. Definitely a white line there. So you see more of the pink. And then you have this blue white line. I kind of like it. Um, I think it could definitely be cut down into something interesting for like a card or background or something. So those are the pan pastels. And where's the other one? And the different techniques and no, third and second generation hearts, because on this one you still have hearts on here. Like there's a really faint heart. So second and third generation. That's the first one. And then this one was the second one. And then we played around with this one. And I thought we had one other one. So, oh, here it is. This one, I really like that one as well. So these are easily, I just did these on a cardstock, like a Nina Classic White cardstock, because you can always turn these into cards. And that's another reason why I did the 5x7. So look at that. I have I have 5 prints, man. That's 5 card opportunities. There you go. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed that pan pastel technique. They're stuck in a drawer, and I often forget about them. So do you have something that's stuck in a drawer that you often forget about that you could jelly print with? Definitely think about that and maybe try that out today and see how that goes for you. Um, I might have to buy some more pan pastels. I kind of like it, especially with some of the intricate stencils that I have. And then, you can always take a stencil and you can, let's say it's of a bird, and you always can, create a scene with your stencils and pan pastels and jelly printing. That would be a fun technique to do and see what you come up with. So if you do that, please drop me a link to where I can check out your pictures in the comments below. If you're part of the community, go post those pictures over there in our community. Would love to see what you experiment with today. And don't forget, 11 o'clock Central, community call. So founding members, please don't forget that. And then also tonight is Craft Showdown. You're going to have to get some popcorn, get something to drink, because it's going to be a lot of laughs and funs with Kara Brandon Creations and Paper Crafty Denise. Can't wait to see those two again. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I have my big glue stick for Kara. And that's kind of a joke if you've been following along over there. And I'll just let you in on a secret. Sometimes I just run out of time because I'm too busy auditioning, as you saw in my collages, to glue things down. And with that, we have reached 50 days of 100 days of lives project that I've been doing with my art and my collages. And so that's we're halfway there. Huge milestone, 50 days. that I've been getting up at 4:30 a.m. and coming live. And if you haven't watched any of those replays, go do that. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art, and I will see you tomorrow.